Hey, Kate, I just got to the store. What else did you want me to grab again? Just booze?
Can you grab some snacks too? I don't think we have enough finger foods. I'll leave what kind up to you. Hopefully that's not too much pressure, Nick. Oh, one more thing. Your dad drank the last of the juice. Grab another bottle of that as well.
Sure thing. Thanks again for everything. You've been a real trooper. I had no idea my folks and brother were going to show up unannounced. You've been very accommodating, though. I hope they aren't boring you too much.
Not at all. They're good company. We're just drinking and having a good time. I've been in and out helping your mom too. We're getting dinner ready. Think you can lend us a hand when you get back from shopping?
It's times like these that make me glad I don't drink. It gives me an excuse to get more done around the house and stuff. This way I can help everyone get their bed set up too. It would be a mess if we were all hammered.
We'd manage. Your family came all this way though. You should at least celebrate in some way. Maybe gorge yourself tonight? We're making a ton of food.
I am way ahead of you. I've been snacking on the way back. Let me know anytime if you get tired of keeping up with those two. I'll bail you out. My mom or I can take a turn entertaining them. Don't feel obligated.
I'll be fine. I'll give you some sort of signal if I need to be bailed out.
Sounds like a plan. Before I forget, what did you plan to do this year?
Do this year about what?
Well, it's the holidays. Are we going to visit your folks? Have you talked to them about their plans? I feel kind of bad. We haven't had a chance to visit them since we got married. I think we should swing by, even if it's just for a couple of hours. What do you think?
Don't worry about that. They haven't made any effort to see us either. I haven't even heard from them lately. I'm sure they're busy doing their own thing. They've always been like that.
It's been almost 3 years since we've last seen them. You haven't gone over there to even visit them once. I'm sure they want to see you.
Trust me, it's okay. We've always had this sort of relationship. We don't need to make a special trip to visit them. We'll see them again sometime in the future.
Well, I don't think they've forgotten about us. They always send us a card for Christmas. I've only met them one time too, just at our wedding. For how often we see my family, I find that kind of strange. I'd at least like to drop by and catch up once a year with them.
We'd send them a card too. That's good enough. There's really no need to drive all the way out there.
That seems pretty sad to me. Do you want to maintain this level of relationship with them? What happens when we have kids?
It's not fair to compare your family to mine. We were never that close, even when I was younger. This is pretty normal for us. We definitely talked about this before we got married. I was upfront about everything. I think it's sweet you want to be closer to my family. However, I'd appreciate if you don't try to force me into a relationship that just isn't there.
Fair enough. I should have considered your feelings more in this matter. Sorry, dear.
You don't need to apologize. We're good. It's not like I'm mad or anything. My relationship with my family is complicated. I'd prefer we just leave it at that.
I respect that. I'll make it up to you. I'll grab you a special treat at the store.
You don't have to make anything up to me. I won't complain if you happen to bring some candy home with you, though. Let's move on from this conversation.
I can do that. I'm gonna grab a few more things and head your way. I'll be home soon.
Thanks again for going. I'll keep everyone entertained in the meantime.
Did you see the message from your mom? She just sent one to both of us. We should get over there quickly. I can drive. I can get back in the house in like 10 minutes. You should get ready so that we can leave quickly.
I didn't get any message. What are you talking about? What did she send through? Besides, I don't want to visit her. We've had this conversation many times already. Please butt out.
This isn't a visit. This is serious. I'll explain the rest when I get home. I'm driving right now.
Explain now. I've told you many times I don't want to see them. Why is now different? Like, I really don't want to see them. What is this big emergency that has you all flustered? I've looked everywhere. I didn't get any messages.
Sorry, Kate. Your dad passed away. He suddenly collapsed a few hours ago. They took him to the hospital where he eventually passed away.
What? My dad is dead?
I'm sorry, honey. I wanted to tell you in person. I think it would be best if we stayed with your mom for a few days. We're gonna need to figure out all sorts of things. Maybe just grab a couple of pairs of clothes for both of us. We can grab anything else we need on our way out.
I'm not going. I really don't want you going either.
Why not? Don't you want to be with your family right now? Oh, I can't imagine what you're feeling right now. But whatever happened between you guys in the past can be put aside for a bit. This is a pretty extraordinary circumstance.
You want me to go comfort my mom. She doesn't need me. She can figure out the logistics of the funeral on her own. I wish you'd focus on my needs right now rather than hers. I don't want to go.
I'm trying to look out for you. It's clear you guys have a history. I've wanted to respect your privacy on the matter, so I never asked, but now isn't the time for that. Your family needs you. Don't you want to see your dad off? I feel like you'll regret it if you don't go.
It's not that I don't want to go to his funeral. I just don't want to go back to that house. Anything but that.
Alright, well, you clearly can't be reasoned with right now. You're letting some past feud cloud your judgment. I don't want you to have any regrets. I'm coming to get you right now.
I said no. If you absolutely insist, I'll go on my own. I don't want you there. Is that good enough for you?
Why not? I think I kind of need to make an appearance, being married to you and all. Oh, please don't complicate this any further.
I don't want you going to my family home. I don't know how else to make that clear to you. My dad just died. Can you respect my wishes? I'm not asking you to do anything unreasonable. Why are you making this about you?
I think you're being really irrational. It's clear there's some reason you don't want me to go, but you won't tell me. Sorry, Kate, I am going with or without your permission. I made a promise to be there for you when we got married. I'm not gonna miss your father's funeral.
This isn't about you! If you go, I'll divorce you. Is it worth destroying our relationship over? Why won't you respect my wishes?
Why are you bringing up divorce? You're making no sense.
I don't know how else to get through to you. Your dad didn't just die, mine did. If you ask me to not do something, I respect your desires. Please, just drop it. Let me be.
Whatever. You're being so unreasonable. I can't get through to you at all. I am going. If you want to divorce me, that's your prerogative.
Wow, you're willing to throw everything away. You're that unwilling to do as I ask.
We can talk about that after the funeral. If you still feel that way when everything is said and done, you can have your divorce. Comforting your mom right now is more important. You can throw a fit as much as you want when we get home. Just grit your teeth and bear it for now. Just do as I say. Sorry, Kate. I needed to head back before you. You guys just going through your dad's things right now? Oh, I'm sure it's hard. You've been overwhelmed with everything between the funeral and this. It's probably best if you stay there for a bit longer. You've got plenty of stuff to keep you busy.
It's Monday. You've got work. I get it. I wanted to apologize for how I acted. I was being really rash about the divorce stuff. I was just mad you weren't listening to me at all.
You don't need to apologize again. It's okay, I've already told you. You really surprised me, though.
Sorry.
It's okay. You had a lot going on.
I did.
So, yeah, don't worry about me. It's over now. We can move on.
Thanks.
I've been meaning to ask, who was that kid that kept clinging to you at the funeral? It really surprised me. Is he adopted or something? I didn't want to ask your mom about him. She had enough on her plate.
That's my son.
What? You have a son? You haven't been married before, right? I'm your first.
I was never married. But yeah, that's my kid. I had him out of wedlock. I had him with the guy I was dating before I met you.
Oh, wow. Why didn't you ever tell me? You didn't need to keep him hidden.
I don't know, I just freaked out. I was too embarrassed to tell you. The longer that passed, the worse it got. It's a pretty massive secret to hide. It's why I never wanted you to visit my parents' house. I was hoping to keep it a secret indefinitely.
All right, well, thanks for sharing. I'm not sure how I feel right now. Shocked for sure, but we can talk about this more later. I'll give it some more thought. I just feel pretty overwhelmed.
I don't have to keep his existence hidden anymore. But yeah, I won't hide anything else. If you want to know more, just ask. No more secrets.
All right, I have some. Who's the kid's father, and do you still see him? Is he involved in the kid's life at all? Does he live nearby your folks?
I have no idea what he's up to. I messaged him after I found out I was pregnant. He immediately blocked me. I haven't heard from him since. I met you probably 6 months after I had my baby. I really liked you and I didn't want to blow it by admitting I had a child.
I see. Why did you never tell me? Keeping it a secret at first, sure. It's been almost 4 years now, though. I wouldn't have broken up with you or anything if you had told me. I liked you too.
Well, things were going really well. I was planning on telling you eventually, but I just kept coming up with reasons to put it off. I had already been cast away by one guy when they found out I had a kid. I didn't want to go through that experience again with you. I didn't want to lose you.
I don't know how to feel. You lied to me about having a kid for years. You dumped your own child off on your parents and pretended he didn't exist so that you could start a new life with me. You kept me from having a relationship with your parents all these years just because you didn't want your secret getting out? I feel betrayed. I wish you would have been upfront with me. Sure, I would have been upset, but the way things turned out are much worse.
I can't argue with that. I think part of me felt ashamed. I've always felt guilty knowing I abandoned my own child, but it's not like he doesn't know who I am.
What's that mean?
Well, every once in a while, you'll visit your parents on your own. I usually tell you I'm busy or meeting up with friends or whatever. In reality, I go to my folks' house to spend time with my kid. Honestly, he's been in good hands. My parents take great care of him and have given him a happy, comfortable life. I try to do my part too. I've been there for a lot of his major milestones and made sure he knows who I am.
You could be doing a lot more, though. The kid's gotta be, 4 years old by now? He's old enough to realize that his mom abandoned him. He's old enough to understand. You need to be by his side a lot more. Not just the occasional visit when I'm busy. He needs his mom.
You're right. Sorry.
Why are you apologizing to me? You should be apologizing to your son. He's the one that's been affected most by all of this. He needs you more than ever.
Yeah, sorry.
Once you finish up over there, pack your things. Pack his too. He needs to live with us from now on.
What? You're okay with it?
He's never had a father figure outside of your dad, and now he's gone. Not to mention, the guy who got you pregnant is a real scumbag. I don't want him thinking all men are like that. He needs a good male role model. And he needs his mom. We're married. I can't pretend he doesn't exist.
You can't fault yourself. I was the one who kept it a secret from you. Our lives are going to be completely different with a kid around. It's going to be a lot of work. Are you sure? He can stay with us?
There's a lot of things we're going to need to talk about, and I mean a lot. None of that is the kid's fault, though. We shouldn't punish him any further for your mistakes. We shouldn't keep him from his mother any longer. He deserves to be raised in a normal household. Despite everything, I want this relationship to work. I don't want to leave you. Which is why I think it would be best for everyone if he stayed with us.
That is such a massive relief. I am so extremely grateful to have you as my husband.
We're partners. We're in this thing together. Head home once you get your stuff done. I'll try to get the house ready. No more secrets. If you have any other kids, now's the time to tell me. I won't be so understanding next time.
Got it.
You know what? I gave it some thought. I think we should get divorced. Don't bother coming back. I don't want to see you ever again.
Huh? Why the sudden change of heart? What did I do wrong? What about all those things you told me yesterday about giving my son a proper home? Were you just lying to hurt me?
I was being serious. I had forgiven you for what you said and did, but your story was a lie. I really was planning on being a father to your son. But yeah, that is off the table now. I'll never be able to trust you ever again.
What did I lie about? I told you everything. Everything I said was the truth. I didn't give you all of the details. I was going to fill you in on the rest when I got home, but nothing I said was a lie. So why are you accusing me of lying and asking for a divorce?
Your mom called me late last night. She urged me not to take the child in and raise him as my own.
Why would she do that? Does she want to keep him for herself?
I was really confused myself. After all, a child needs their mother, especially at that age. I tried to explain to her, but she stopped me. She told me everything. My opinion changed. I agree with her now.
Uh-huh. And what did she say? I'm sure she spouted a bunch of lies in order to keep him. With my dad gone, I imagine she wants his companionship.
Nah, it was nothing like that. You told me at least one lie yesterday. You said you'd come back to your parents' house to visit your kid when I was away. But your mom said you haven't been around once since we got married. Not a single time.
Why would she lie? What does she gain by lying to you? She'll be able to keep my son. That's all she's after. This is a part of the reason I never wanted you two to meet. She's insanely manipulative. I've gone over there dozens of times to take him for the day. We'd go to the park and hang out.
Why would she be lying about that? You never wanted that kid. He's a mistake you've neglected. Maybe seeing him reminds you of the guy who cast you aside. I can imagine there's some resentment there. Perhaps you wanted to get an abortion, but by the time you realized you were pregnant, it was too late. Am I wrong?
Is this coming from you or my mom? Because these are ridiculous assumptions. I never sought out an abortion. I found out I was pregnant very early on. Besides, I never forced her to raise him. She offered. She could have gotten out of it at any time. She's just desperately trying to keep him no matter what the cost. She's scared to lose him and willing to say anything in order to make sure she doesn't.
Well, one of you is lying because she told me you haven't seen him one time since you gave birth to him, excluding the funeral, of course. And apparently, you were physically violent towards him right after his birth. Your parents have gone to great lengths on your behalf. They've dedicated much of their golden years trying to raise a child that you've neglected. Do you have any idea of what you've put them through?
That's all lies! My mom is making everything up. I don't know why she's doing this. You're just going to take her word for everything? I am your wife. Why don't you believe me?
I have evidence to corroborate her story. She showed me everything. You won't be able to lie your way out of this one.
Huh? What did she show you?
Your mom kept all of his medical records. It was clear he had been physically hurt in some way when he was a newborn. You expect me to stay married to someone who would hurt a newborn? You're a monster. You make me sick.
He got hurt when he was a baby. That isn't evidence of anything. I just dropped him one day and he bumped his head. I brought him to the hospital to get checked out, just to be extra careful. This happened when I was overly tired and still heavily medicated. This is all one big misunderstanding. This is getting way out of hand.
Where am I wrong? Now is your time to try and explain yourself. Although I doubt it'll help. My mind is already made up.
How can I prove it? He clearly ran right to me when he saw me. He remembers who I am. Would he remember if he's never seen me before? He clung to me throughout the entire funeral. You saw it yourself. You can't deny it.
So what? That means nothing.
So he recognizes me and doesn't fear me. Would someone terrified of their mother run to them for comfort? He accepts me as his mother. Kids don't run up to random strangers seeking comfort. Everything my mom has said has been a fabrication. It's extremely obvious. Why can't you see it?
You could have called him over to you when I wasn't looking. Him hugging you is evidence of nothing. Why do you think I was so desperate to go to your dad's funeral?
You're making some massive assumptions, and I don't know, some sort of obligation to my family?
I knew you were hiding something. I was right. You didn't want evidence of your lies to come out. You had no intention of ever raising the child. You wanted things to stay as they were, with your mom raising him and you having zero interaction with him. You would have been honest with me had you really wanted to raise him. I'm sure you were disappointed when I said we should raise him as our own. You swore your parents to secrecy. Maybe you said you'd take your son away and do something terrible if they didn't keep quiet.
I can't believe it. The things that you're accusing me of are too cruel. I never threatened or hurt anyone. My mother is making all of it up. Why won't you believe me? It's obviously nonsense. All the evidence is pointing toward me telling the truth. Did I ever give off that impression? I've been really good to you.
You've been good to me? That is such nonsense. Is lying to me about having a child doing me a favor? I can't think of a single reason to keep you around. You might be the worst person I have ever met, and that is quite the accomplishment. Sadly, I was too blind to realize it up until now.
You're saying things you don't mean out of rage. This is taking things way too far. I won't deny that I've been a bad mother, that I haven't been there for my son. I've admitted to all of that. But as for being your wife, I've done everything you've asked of me. You have nothing to complain about. Despite that, you're willing to throw everything away over some lie my mother is telling you?
You're missing the point. You told me that you've been using your free time to take care of your child in secret, that you've been over there to see him many times. It's all been a lie. I'll be seeking damages from you. I'll use that money to help support your neglected child. I'll force you to take care of him. I can't trust you any longer.
You're going to be seeking damages? For what? I have never been unfaithful to you. I've always been a good wife. This divorce is a complete sham. Why should I pay you money?
You hid that you had a child from me. That's reason enough to get damages. You abandoned your child immediately after giving birth. I doubt a judge will take pity on you. Don't worry though, I have a plan for making you do one decent thing with your life. All the money will go towards trying to give your son a better life. Maybe this way you can actually be a mother to a child in some small way. Isn't that nice? I filed for divorce soon after listing her having a child with another man as the reason. My requests for damages got approved without any issue. I set up a bank account for her son where I deposited all the checks she sent me. I shared access with her mother so that she could use it when she needed. Kate didn't have any savings at the time of the divorce. She was going to have to work extra hard in order to pay her child support while supporting herself. I heard from her mother that things weren't going well for her. Her mother initially was against the arrangement. Despite her estranged relationship with her daughter, she didn't want to see her struggle. But she eventually came around. She downsized homes and moved somewhere more suitable for raising a child. I only met her son that one time, but I felt some sort of obligation towards him. I just couldn't leave things as they were. He had gone through so much thanks to Kate. I didn't want him to go through any more. The money will never replace the absence of his parents, but I hope it brings him some sort of joy. The house Kate's mom moved to was much better for the kid. There were several schools, parks, and club buildings nearby. I helped her move and sign the kid up for some of these programs. It should be just the thing he needs. I feel like I did my part. I could carry on with my life knowing that in some way I tried. There are plenty of people who would have tried to do more, but I have no regrets. Given the relationship I had with him, I feel as if I did more than enough. Thus, my relationship with Kate and her child came to an end. They were gonna have to figure out the rest on their own. I wish him only the best. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button to see more content like this. Please leave a comment below. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Max, I think you've been slacking with the housework recently. All the food that you make for dinner is just pre-made food that you buy at the store.
Hey, Katie, I'm really sorry about that. It's just that I've been really busy with work recently. I don't really have the time to be cooking much these days. I still try to make an effort to make a balanced meal, though.
Stop using your work as an excuse for this. The salary that you earn is terrible. There's no way that you're busy with work with that kind of salary. I really don't care if the dinner you make is balanced or not. I want to eat things that are delicious and expensive. I get in a really bad mood as soon as I realize the dinner is boring. Would you please put more effort into making nice food? I want to eat fancy foods like lobster and steak.
I don't think that we have the kind of money to be eating things like that. How about I cook a roast chicken for dinner tonight?
Did you just say roast chicken? That's so boring. I want you to go somewhere and buy a huge lobster.
Were you not listening to me? I don't think that we have that kind of money right now. Do you not realize how expensive a lobster is? We still have to pay off the loan for this condo that we live in. We really need to save some money right now.
This is all your fault for having such a low salary. I don't want to have to live a life where we can barely spend any money. That's such a boring life.
Well, it can't be helped right now. We literally just bought this condo. You were the one that really wanted to live here, even though it was way over our budget. We have to save some money now because you chose this place.
Why are you saying that as if you did me a favor? I earn more money than you, so it's pretty obvious that I should get the final say in the condo that we purchase. I really don't appreciate you complaining about this to me.
I'm not complaining to you at all. I'm just saying that we should limit our spendings right now, as we still have to pay off the loan for this place.
Why should I have to care about that? I thought that I put you in charge of the housework and managing our living expenses. The reason we don't have much money is because you're terrible at budgeting. I wish you would do a better job at that considering you have such a terrible salary. You really are so useless. How about you try to work a little harder from now on?
I think that I already work hard enough. I wake up at 5 a.m. every single day and make breakfast for both of us. Then I make a packed lunch for both of us and head to work. Once I finish work, I have to stop by the grocery store and buy ingredients for dinner. Once I get back home, I do all the housework and then start making us dinner. I have so much to do already. I'm really trying my best right now.
So what? You're just doing what you're supposed to do. You have a lower salary than me, so you should be doing all the housework.
Yes, I know that, and I am currently doing all the housework and cooking. Please don't ask me to try any harder because I'm already at my limit.
Stop whining so much. I hate all the boring dinners that you've been making recently. I want to live a luxurious life seeing as I earn such a good salary.
That's just not possible. I will admit that you have a higher than average salary for your age. It's still not enough to live a luxurious lifestyle, especially because we bought an expensive condo together. We need to work together as husband and wife and pay back the loan for this place first. Once it's all paid for, then we can start spending a little more money.
You really are so annoying. I should never have gotten married to you in the first place. You earn a terrible salary, but you're just so arrogant. You always talk back to me like this. You don't have enough respect for me. Do you not realize how much more I earn when compared to you?
Oh, please don't say stuff to me like that. I'm really grateful that you're my wife. I'm also very happy that I managed to get married to you.
If you really feel that way, I want you to prove it. I want tonight's dinner to be very fancy. I want to eat a lobster dish. Is that clear? If the dinner is boring again, I'm not going to eat it.
Fine. I guess we can eat something expensive from time to time. Would it be okay if I make the lobster dish this weekend, though? I have to work overtime today and won't be able to get home till pretty late at night. I don't think that I'm gonna have time to cook anything fancy.
Did you just say overtime? You better not be serious. Why does someone that barely earns any money have to work overtime? It makes no sense at all. I'm going to be finishing work at around 5 p.m. today. You better not make me wait for dinner.
It is true that my salary isn't that high. I'm still a full-time worker for this company. There are gonna be times when I have to work some overtime. I hope that you can understand that.
I'm guessing that you have to work overtime because you're such a useless worker. I really do regret marrying such a useless man like you. I really don't know what I was thinking. If I could go back in time, I definitely wouldn't get married to you again. I think it's the biggest mistake I've made in life.
Oh, please stop saying things like that. It really hurts my feelings when you say that.
I really hate that you're so emotionally weak as well. Aren't you supposed to be a man? This is another reason why I absolutely despise you. So much about you annoys me.
It might be true that I'm not strong emotionally. I'm still doing my best every single day to try and live a happy life with you.
Did you just say that you're trying to live a happy life with me? Why are you trying to live a happy life as well? You should be putting all your effort into making my life happy. Who cares about your life? If you really want to continue living with me, you better listen to everything that I tell you to do.
Okay, fine. I'll make sure to come back home as soon as possible tonight.
You better be back home early to make dinner. I really don't mind getting a divorce from you at all, by the way. If you don't want me to divorce you, you better come back home in time to make me a nice dinner. Is that clear?
Yes, I do understand what you're telling me to do. Hey, Katie, I thought that you told me that you would be done with work at 5 p.m. I've already finished making dinner for us. When are you planning to come home?
What are you talking about? You told me that you were going to have to work overtime today. That's why I decided to come eat at an expensive French restaurant.
Wait, what? You were the one that told me to come home early so that I could make you dinner. That's why I left work early and went to the grocery store. I even bought a lobster like you told me to. I just finished cooking a dish with it.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Why did you buy something so expensive?
Don't you remember the conversation that we had earlier? You were the one that told me that you wanted to eat lobster.
Stop making up lies like that. You're really starting to annoy me again. I was having such a nice time at this restaurant, you just completely ruined my happy mood. Don't bother contacting me anymore.
So you don't really care if the dinner that I made goes to waste? I spent a lot of time and effort making this for you.
Stop trying to make it sound like you did me a favor. That's really annoying as well. If you think it's gonna be wasted, just eat it all yourself.
I can't finish this all by myself. I guess I'll just leave your portion in the fridge then. I'll heat it up for you tomorrow.
What did you just say? Are you really planning on giving me reheated food tomorrow? I'm definitely not gonna eat it. You may as well just throw it away.
I really don't like wasting food like that. I guess I'll just put it in your lunchbox for tomorrow then.
I don't need lunch tomorrow. I'm also not gonna be coming home tonight either.
Wait, what? Why?
I just ordered a bunch of wine and don't really feel like going all the way home. You also ruined my mood completely, so I don't really want to have to see your face today.
So you're eating at an expensive French restaurant all by yourself, and you're drinking a lot of wine?
I'm not here by myself. I'm not like you at all. There's no way I would go to a restaurant by myself.
Who are you with then? Are you with someone from your workplace? You're not alone with another guy, are you?
Would there be a problem if I was with a guy right now?
You're not completely alone with him, are you? There's other people there, right?
It's just the two of us. We're on a date after all.
What did you just say? You're on a date? Wait, that's a joke, right?
I don't have the time to waste joking around with you. Everything that I just said to you is the truth.
So does this mean that you're cheating on me?
I'm not cheating on you. I would never do such a thing. It's just that I can't be satisfied by just one man. A woman as beautiful as me deserves to have a couple of boyfriends. Did you really think that a man like you could have exclusive possession of me?
I really hope that you're not serious about what you just told me. You're just drunk and saying stupid things, right?
I mean exactly what I'm saying to you. I'm not that drunk. You're pretty much just a housewife to me. I only decided to keep you around because you have a job and can do all the housework. Did you really think that I would seriously be in love with a man like you? You're so pathetic if you really believed that.
Oh, I'm so shocked to hear all of this. You really are the worst kind of person. I had a strange feeling that you were just using me. I really didn't want to believe it. Now that you've told me how you really feel about me, I can't be with you any longer.
So what? You want to get a divorce from me then? I'm completely fine with that. You're the one that's going to struggle without me. I'm going to be completely fine without you in my life.
I've been doing everything that I can to be a good husband to you, and this is how you treat me? You've been cheating on me? Oh, I'm gonna sue you.
I knew you'd say that. You're desperate for money after all. That's fine by me. I'll pay you a divorce settlement. I guess it's going to be around $20,000, right? That's nothing to me. The condo that we bought is my property though. You're going to have to move out.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna be asking you to pay me $20,000 then. You can also keep the condo to yourself. It's under your name and I can't afford to pay the loan for it anyway.
Everything is sorted then. Make sure that you hand the divorce papers in tomorrow. I also want you to move out of my condo by the end of this week.
I want to leave this place as soon as possible. I'm gonna start getting all of my belongings together right now. I'll be able to move out by tomorrow.
Yeah, that works for me. Don't bother contacting me ever again, by the way. I am not going to help you out no matter what happens.
You don't need to worry about that. I have no intention of talking to you ever again. Goodbye forever.
Hey, Max. I've decided that I'm going to forgive you.
Katie, why are you contacting me out of nowhere? We're strangers to each other now. I thought that we decided that we won't be contacting each other from now on.
Were you not listening to what I just told you? I said that I'm willing to forgive you. You can come back and live with me again.
Why would I want to do that? I have no intention of getting back together with you.
There's no need for you to hide your true feelings. I know that you regret splitting up with me. You're sad that you had to get a divorce from such a wonderful woman like me.
Actually, it's the opposite. I'm really happy that I got to get a divorce from a cheating piece of trash like you.
Why are you telling me so many lies? I bet that you have to live very frugally now that you're no longer married to me.
Actually, I'm doing perfectly fine. I've always been pretty good at budgeting. I live a lifestyle that's suitable to my income. I also don't have to pay the loans for that condo anymore, so I've been able to save some money.
You must miss living in this high-rise condo right next to the station.
I actually don't miss it at all. I never really understood why you wanted to buy that place so much.
What are you talking about? The view from this room is amazing. I bet that you're living in some rusty old apartment room by yourself. Surely you'd be better off coming back and living with me. I'm telling you that you can come back to me. You should just stop acting so tough and just get back together with me.
Actually, I really have no interest in getting back together with you. I'm pretty content with this new place that I'm living in. I have no intention of going back to live with you in that condo. You also have other boyfriends, right? Why don't you ask one of them to move in with you?
I'm asking you to move back in because my other boyfriends are useless.
I think it's going to be very difficult for you to find another man like me. I was working a full-time job while doing all the housework and cooking after all. It was really difficult listening to your orders every single day on top of all of that.
I want to start living with you again because life was going so smoothly back then. I really want you to come back to me.
I'm guessing you've run out of money because of the ridiculous lifestyle that you live. I had a very difficult time trying to control your spendings when we lived together. I know that you're terrible at managing your money. You also lost my source of income when we got divorced.
Why would your income matter? You probably weren't earning that much anyway.
Actually, I was probably earning more than you thought. You just didn't know because you're terrible at managing money. You were giving me $2,000 a month towards living expenses, right? Well, $1,500 of that went straight into paying for the loans for the condo. That means that you were only contributing $500 into our living costs. That's why I was contributing $2,000 out of my salary every single month towards our living expenses. I didn't really mind at the time because you were my wife, and I wanted to make sure that you were happy.
How did someone like you manage to put $2,000 towards our living expenses every month? I thought you had a terrible salary.
I told you this many times, but you never seemed to listen to me. I was working a full-time job just like you were. You kept on saying that you earned a lot more than me, but that actually wasn't really true. I actually earned more than you on months where I had to work a lot of overtime.
Why are you making up lies like that? You told me that you earned around $20,000 a year. That was just before we got married.
That was so many years ago. I earned quite a few promotions after that. Currently, I earn more than double that every single year. I think my current yearly salary is approximately $50,000. Your yearly salary is around $52,000, right? It's really not that different to how much I earn.
Why didn't you tell me about any of this? I had no idea.
Actually, I did try to tell you about it many times. You just never chose to listen. You always assumed that I had a low salary and mocked me about it.
Why did you ask me to pay you a compensation fee if you were earning so much then? You definitely didn't need my money at all. You're such a huge liar. You tricked me.
We had to get a divorce because you were cheating on me with multiple different men. You ruined my life, and that's why I got that money. How is that a trick?
I promise that I won't ever cheat on you again. Would you please just come back to me? I realized that I really can't live without you. I've barely got any savings left at all. I don't think I'm going to be able to pay the loans for this condo in the near future. I also haven't been able to pay the utility bills this month. They might cut off my water and electricity at this rate.
How did that happen? I thought that you still had a lot of savings when we got the divorce. There's no way that you could have spent all of that money already.
Actually, I managed to spend it all. One of my boyfriends moved in with me after we got a divorce from each other. That boyfriend told me that he wanted a nice car, so I bought it for him. I also bought a lot of other things for him. I couldn't say no to him whenever he asked me to buy him something.
So you managed to use up all your savings on a guy?
Yeah, I had to pay everything because he was a part-time worker. He didn't earn much money at all.
So you got a divorce from me so that you could date a part-time worker? I'm a little shocked by that.
I thought that I'd be fine because I managed to live a normal life with you. I thought that you had a terrible salary. That's why I thought I could live with a part-time worker as well.
You really are dumb, aren't you? Do you not use your brain at all? It's not difficult to manage your money, by the way. All you have to do is make sure that you don't spend more than you earn. You should have realized by now that you have to live frugally to pay for the loan of that condo. That place that you chose is really expensive. We were barely getting by even when I was still living with you. I warned you that that condo you chose was way over budget. You didn't listen to me at all.
Okay, fine. I'll admit that I was wrong and that you were right. I was wrong about everything I did to you as well. I'm really sorry. Please, would you just come back and live with me? I really need your help. I finally realized what an amazing husband you really were. I completely regret getting a divorce from you.
I guess we could get back together. Did you really think that I would say something like that after you did that to me? I'm definitely not going to be getting back together with you. I also have no intention of staying in contact with you in the future.
Please don't say stuff like that. You're gonna hurt my feelings. I realized that I need you in my life. You were the person that I was meant to be with.
You just want to come back because I work a full-time job and do all of the housework for you. I am not coming back to you so that you can treat me like a slave again. You're just going to have to learn to be more independent from now on. Try to use your brain and think about the way you spend your money.
Please don't abandon me like this. I'm begging you. I also promise that I'll help you out with the housework from now on. I won't order you around anymore and I'll respect your opinion. Please just get back together with me.
I've already given you my answer. I also don't want you to ever contact me ever again. I'm going to be blocking you. Goodbye forever. Katie failed to control her spendings and couldn't pay the loans for her condo anymore. She ended up having to sell the condo and had to move out into a cheap apartment room out of town. She was really shocked by how small her new apartment room was. On the other hand, I'm really enjoying my life away from Katie. I've become really good at doing the housework thanks to the time I spent living with her. These days, I can get the housework for myself done very quickly, so I have a lot of free time to use for my hobbies. I'm really glad that I managed to get out of a toxic marriage with her. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing and pressing the like button.